Gear will never outweigh your gift. Too many times, too often, we see people focusing and spending too much time on gear. I'm guilty of this. Not as guilty as I used to be, but I still find myself doing it some days. Most of you that are watching this are probably familiar with Sean Kennel and the Think Media brand, and one of the things that he always says is that at some point you just got to press record. And that is a theme, that is a reality, that is a mantra that if you're a creator, you have to live by. But whether you're a creator or not, even if you're an entrepreneur, small business owner, you're an author, you're a speaker, you're a lawyer, you're a pastor, you run a nonprofit organization, recording may not necessarily be your thing, but whatever it is that you're supposed to do, at some point you've got to just do it. For so long we've used fear as the excuse, and I think ultimately somewhere, underneath all of the other layers we've put on top of that you can find fear. But at the end of the day, we pay too much attention to other people. We spend, in the previous overdub I talk about stop using somebody else's finish line to determine how you start your race or at what pace you should even run your own. And we're kind of in the same line here, where we see too many people are focused on what other people are doing, and specifically in my industry, what other people have. I'm in several different groups, and we spend so much time talking about gear. What camera do you have? What lens do you have? What microphone do you have? What is the lighting that you're using? What is the software that you're using? And I'm guilty of that. And in some way I'm guilty because I help perpetuate that culture, but I always have to level set with myself, and I always make sure that I level set with my audience. And you can watch any of my content and you will know that I remain true to this. It doesn't matter what you have. I don't care. This is why I still use a Sony a6000. This is why I still use a Sony a6300. Can I afford the 64? Can I afford the 61? Can I afford the 66? Can I afford the A7s and the A9s and all of that stuff? Can I afford, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K 60? Whatever. Yes, I can afford that. Whether you believe it or not, I promise you I can. That's not the issue. It's not about that. Whatever lens that I want to go get, I can go get it. Whatever camera that I want to go get, I can go get it. But I care less about that. I care less about the gear itself, and I care more about the content that I'm trying to deliver to you. And the thing is, gear will never outweigh your gift. This is why we see so many people who have the gear, but they seem stuck, they seem stifled, and it seems like things are not happening and things are not moving for them because that's all they really care about. They care about looking the part and having nothing to say. And I need you to understand, I say this all the time, but I'm saying it again now, that gear will never override the gift. It's not the gear that makes room for you. It may be the gear that initially gets the views and people watch your YouTube videos and they say, yo, he's got the dopest setup. But if you hang around long enough, this is why I love long form content. You may be impressed by the thumbnail, you may be impressed by the intro and the B-roll, but once you start to watch a person's content, you really start to understand whether they're true to what they're talking about. And that's what I want to really encourage you on this good Friday. It's kind of funny because the last overdub I did was on a Friday. We was talking about being free on Friday. Same thing is going to happen, and maybe we'll do that. We'll just keep the overdubs specific to Fridays, but it's the free for all, just kind of freestyling off the dome. But yo, stop being so focused on things that aren't important. The camera is not important. The microphone is not. None of that stuff is important. In the grand scheme of production, it may be important, and we can talk about that, but people want to really see you. They want to see what's going on in your brain. They want to see what's going on in your heart. What is it that you have to say that's going to help me and help benefit my life? Nobody cares about the gear. Nobody cares about the camera. You got a $1,200 phone sitting in your pocket and you haven't even once recorded a video with that. And you're asking me what kind of camera I use? What kind of lens is going to make me look better? How about you say something? have something to say when you make the purchase, because the gear won't make you sound any smarter. The gear will not help you fulfill the purpose if it's absent, if it's not there. Let me help you understand something. Gear does not matter. And there will be plenty of people that will argue and say, well, it does matter. No, it doesn't. Not in 2021. It doesn't matter. And we can see a why. And I'll be honest and say it never really mattered, but it doesn't matter because we see at the end of the day, people want content that is meaningful to them, whether it's educational, whether it's for entertainment purposes, whether it's for awareness, whether it's for learning. People want content that is meaningful to them. So remember, it's not the gear that's going to make room for you. It's the gift that will make room for you and bring you before great men. It's the gift that's going to help prepare that table that you want to sit at. You know what I'm saying? So if you work the gift, forget the gear. You don't have the camera, okay, use the phone. You probably got an iPhone 10, at least 10, 11, or 12 right now. It records in 4K. It shoots 4K 60. All right. And if you don't like the stock app on the iPhone, you can buy something like Filmic Pro and blow somebody's mind, because I think you can shoot up to like 170 megabits per second as far as a data rate, as far as bit rate and all of that stuff. But that's not important. Nobody cares about that. So listen, gear will never override gift. Keep focusing on gear. You're going to have G.A.S, gear acquisition syndrome. I'm not fussing because I'm guilty of it too. It's just something we got to get over. So again, you've heard me say this before, but I'm saying it again. Gear does not matter.
You probably heard me say this before, but I had to say it again. Overdubs.